Hello everyone, I'm LadyLazyPup and welcome to a speed build for our Career Legacy Challenge. Our sim Jasper and his wife are expecting a child, they just got married, they are making some good money on all of their wine and food and all of that good stuff. So it's time for them to get a nice upgrade to the home so we can add on a new room, so we can make it the space a little bit bigger for them to utilize for themselves and their family that's actually going to be growing very quickly, I have a feeling. So the main idea I had here was I kind of wanted to change the layout of the land. I wanted the house to be a little bit further back, kind of like in the middle but to the side of the lot. I wanted the vineyard to be in the back left corner instead of the right, and then I'm moving the orchard up to the front so that you can see it when you walk in. One, I figured that would be kind of like just visually appealing. It kind of puts the garden in a few different places. And then they also have a lot more space now in like a backyard area where they can entertain, they can have their friends over, especially because we're going to be doing a bunch of dinner parties. Every week we have a dinner party going on. So we have to have enough space to entertain. And another thing that we're going to have to do for that is actually make the home bigger. So I kind of wanted to keep the structure of the home. I wanted to keep that look and feel of how we had it when we first made it, because I really liked how that turned out, and it just feels right to keep most of the bones, or at least, you know, the look, right? So we widened it up. We definitely made each room bigger. And then we added on a back section to the right, which gave the house a L shape. And my idea with that was that we could have like a nice hallway that goes to all the bedrooms and the bathroom. It's kind of like here's the wing of the house for all the sleeping quarters, and then to the left is more of like the living space. And the kitchen is, of course, the heart of the home, especially since it is Jasper's home and he is a chef and that's his whole aspiration and career and everything. I feel like the heart has to be the kitchen. And I did make sure that when we did have like the hallway and all the other spaces, it is kind of closed off. I wanted it to be in sections, like I was saying, and I didn't want it to feel super open concept. I feel like that's kind of more keeping in like the traditional look of the home, and I don't know why, but it feels a little bit cozier, in my opinion. At least for this house, it felt a little cozier to have it sectioned off into rooms and spaces of its own. So now this is where like that back area where it's kind of like a courtyard almost, that's where I wanted to have them to be able to entertain and have everybody outside and like a bunch of outdoor type of activities. One thing I do want to eventually put in, and I don't put it in now because those are so expensive and it's really difficult to just like, yes, let me just plop down this, is a pool. Right? I think a pool right there would be really nice, and it would definitely be another nice entertaining space for them to have for friends and family to come over and enjoy with them. We shifted Jasper and Olive's bedroom space to the back of the house, and in the front we're going to keep like that where they had their bathroom is going to stay a bathroom, and then next to it's going to be the current nursery for the child that they're expecting, which is super exciting, and I can't wait to see their little bundle once it's born. I do have a few name ideas, but if you guys have any thoughts for their names, I have a little list going, and I kind of like the idea that it's going to end up being like a food name like we did with Mushroom. We have Olive, Mushroom, what's the baby gonna be? It's gotta be food, right? It has to be food. So it's gonna be something cute, I have a feeling. And it's going to be perfect. I kept changing spaces a little bit and moving stuff around and shifting it. Out back here, I thought it would be really cool to have like a pool house or like a workspace out back, especially since they have that juice maker and possibly any other tools that they're going to need. I figured having like its own space for it would be kind of perfect. I also thought that in case they ever need like another source of money to come in or anything, that pool house could end up being rented out to somebody, and then they can actually have them staying there on their lot, which actually would be kind of neat. So it's just like another rentable space too for in the back area. Now, okay, yeah, you might be catching me on something. I might have an idea of who I want to stay there, you know, or might rent from them in the back in the future. We'll see. We'll see what happens, but if you guys have any other ideas, let me know what you think, because I kind of like this thought, you know, bring back another favorite character. But I digress. We must continue with the build. We're playing around with the front area right now, where the orchard is going to be on the left. We have the path that kind of just swoops to the front area over here. This front right area, I wasn't really sure what I want to do with it yet. I kind of wonder if it's just going to be a nice little pretty space with like some flowers, and maybe that's where Jasper can set up his stand to sell things. That could work out really nicely, honestly. And then you can see here in the back, I'm shaping up the area for them to hang out so that our vineyard could kind of get a little bit larger. I like that it's like the 3 rows, but I was like, oh, actually, if we could make it so it could potentially get even bigger too, I like the way that can expand. And of course, I did have to keep the fake grapevines because I just think they look really pretty, and it adds to the theme of it actually being a vineyard. And we just kind of put the real plants in between so that they have their own space, that you can still get to them, and it kind of fits in with the look and feel of everything as well. So I wanted to just kind of make it nice and large and feel like they're making it even bigger and going kind of crazy with their vineyard aspect. But of course, we still have this little space in the back right corner, and considering we do have vegetables, we have flowers, I figured some raised garden beds would be kind of perfect for this space to make it like its own little garden in the back. So of course we have like multiple garden areas now, right? We have the vegetable garden, we have flower garden, we have the vineyard, and then we also have the orchard. And I love that they kind of have that spread out along the entire lot itself, so it just feels a little bit more like they each have their own zone created, and then we can always add on as we're living with them, right? And we're going to see how they want to expand their garden. Do they want to go with more stuff in the vineyard or the orchard, or do they like having these raised garden beds? So I just kind of like having that ability to play a little bit. Also, ignore the dirty dishes out front. They just had the wedding, and then I was like, oh my god, there's so many dishes just everywhere on the lot. And I was like, I'm gonna hire a maid. And then the maid was just like, oh, you hired us too late in the night. We're not coming for like 2 days. So, yeah, that's not happening yet. So I just put all the dirty dishes out front. You know, I figured that kind of makes it easier for them to come and get them and deal with them as we will, right? Oh, I had to fix the terrain paint. I actually like it. We went a little bit darker with the green, and it blends out into like that softer tone that the rest of the world has. But it was a little bit of a pain in the butt when I was making these lines, and if I erased anything, it went back to that muted green tone. I was like, oh shoot. And I had to keep playing around with the coloring. So you can see like the lines of the orchard in the front. We're definitely gonna get more trees. We only had the 3 at the moment, so I definitely think we'll have to plant a bunch more in those lines and make it a lot prettier, a lot fuller. It's gonna be really fun. I almost feel like they would rent this space out for people to come and actually pick their own fruits off of the trees or vines. That could be kind of a cool idea. If we had the little animals, maybe we could do like one of those days where people come to the ranch, but this isn't a ranch, this is a vineyard. So maybe in the future when we have somebody who wants to do horses as a career or something like that, then we can do it where people can come and visit all the little animals on the ranch. So going inside of the house now, we're looking at the living room, and I do like the idea of having these big doors going from the living room and the hallway out into like that space for entertainment. the backyard space. But I just I couldn't figure out what doors would work well, especially since I had that other side door. And then, thank you, Island Living, that door is perfect. It looks like it fits in with all of the furniture and the style, and it even fits in with the smaller sliding door next to it. So I was really happy with that, and it makes it large, and it has lots of windows, so a bunch of lighting's gonna come in. It feels so nice. And I really liked this idea of giant couch. Lots of space for seating, so we can play our silly games, or we can watch stuff together, or just sit and have a drink, or eat together. And this is when I realized, oh, I think I actually need to make this a tile larger. So we end up doing that too. But we have really big bookcases in the back, especially since Olive likes to read and write. I figured that would be a nice add-on. Oh, and a funny thing. I go into the game just to, you know, get in and see how much money we have and everything. And Olive immediately gets a new bucket list item that said she wants to read in peace. And I was just like, oh, so you want a library? And it's like, no, she actually just wants to go to the library to read. But I was like, oh, but you want a library? In my head, I'm like, no, I like the idea that she wants, like, her own oasis library at some point. So I gave her the big wall of bookshelves for now, and then maybe we can add on, like, a library space where she can read and maybe write a book or something later on. I do love the fact that she got herself a bucket list item, and you'll see that when we get into the gameplay part. But I figured I'd let you guys know that in case you didn't get to see that later. You get to see that a little sneak peek, is that she has a bucket list item now. I'm still debating on those stones for the terrain paint that I used for, like, that walkway. It's the one from Cottage Living that has the pink flowers in the middle of it, and I keep trying to find ways to use that in builds, or, like, find places where it actually fits in. And I figured with all, like, the pinky reddish toned flowers we have, like, on the walls of the, like, outside of the house, as well as, like, on the fencing, I kind of thought, oh, it fits in. It kind of matches, it balances it out a little bit. So we're gonna keep it for now. And if later on we're just like, I can't stand it anymore, we'll change it. But I feel like it works. I feel like it works with all, like, the pinky red tones that we have going on. I did keep the fan. I had to keep the silly fan that we had in there that was like a, oh my god, we don't even have air conditioning fan. But I was like, that's kind of perfect for an outdoor patio where you just need, like, some air movement while you're sitting out there. Yep, there we go, adding to our pile of dishes. The kitchen was a little bit of an awkward space, and I think it was only because of the doorways, but I liked having the big arches everywhere. The arches, I felt like, was adding some really nice interest to the home. But once we kind of put down all of the cabinets, and we put all of the counter spaces in, I should say, we were able to fit in an island too. And it's just a small island, but it works well because all I keep thinking is Jasper's going to want more space to be able to cook and prep and do all of that fun stuff. So having a nice island in the middle, I feel like, gives him a good prepping space. And that's where I end up putting in the mixer. Now you can see here I am doing some wall stuff. I did kind of struggle with the walls. I liked the ranch style wood and, like, the paneling for those couple rooms there, but then I just kind of wanted a neutral for the rest of the house for now, and I wasn't sure, so I kind of went with just that creamy tone that you can see in most of the spaces. The bedroom does have a kind of gradient to it, which I thought was really nice. It's just like a really soft pinky red tone for their room. And then, of course, I had to go fun for the nursery, because anytime there's a nursery and a kid, I'm like, let's go fun. We can have some wallpaper with some color, some cute rugs. Easy peasy. But definitely wanted to make sure that we were ready for the little one to come in. So I have a crib and a changing table for when they become an infant, and then I do also add in a bassinet for when they're still a baby. and we first have them come into the home. But I do like that this has like enough space for all of it put together. And we will be ending up having like more than one child with this family. So we might end up having 2 kids in here for a little while. We might up expanding again just so that they have more space. Maybe we could always just add like a second story and like all the kids could be on the second story. We could make this into an office space then. This could be your library. See? We add the kids up, we'll put the kids upstairs. And then we can have the library downstairs in a nice little office space. Perfect. I love that. The bathroom's pretty easy. I did put the expensive shower in, but we did have quite a bit of money to work with. So I was like, if we have 34 grand to play with, that's totally fine by me. But for their bathroom, I was like, let's have a little bit more fun. Let's make this huge. So I gave them a double vanity. I gave them a shower with 2 shower heads. I have to test that to see if that works. But I'm pretty sure it will. Since they are only like 1 tile for each shower head. And then I even gave them a separate room, like a water closet for the toilet. So I thought that ended up being really nice. That's a great bathroom right there. And it's a good space. So I'm glad that they were able to have a bigger space. It's kind of like a main suite for them. A little place for them to just kind of run off to. You can also see at the end of the hallway, I did put the desk there. Because I had it in the living space originally. But because I put all the bookshelves in there and we had that really large couch, I felt like it was just too much furniture in one place. So I decided to just put it at the end of the hallway. And then that's where that big door is going to be. So it's kind of like just a nice end to that hallway. At least it's a little computer space for them. No office right now, but maybe in the future. Like we were saying, maybe in the future. Some fantastic red tiling, though. I love how just everything dark red in that bathroom. Tiles and dark reds, but I feel like it really fits with the style of the build, too. Now, this was the original, like, entertainment zone, right? This is our outdoor entertainment zone, little patio that has that small covering on top and all like the vines around it. And I decided, you know what, we're gonna keep the table, we're gonna keep the small bar. I end up adding on a grill and like a whole little outdoor kitchen area for them to work with, which I thought was nice. Oh yeah, you can see I'm always back and forth. Look, I tend to be kind of all over the place, especially since this was a renovation build. I was a little all over the place trying to just like move stuff around and get everything where it needs to go while I was focusing on different zones. But here comes my little outdoor kitchen. We put that up against the one side. We still have a nice little dining space for them to eat at. And then this is where we keep the bar area too. So we can pretend that that's where they put their current wine selection for when we have our dinner parties. And I think that's kind of fun and a really cute little idea here. So it does make it like we have a couple entertainment zones. We have the indoor zone where you can relax on the couch. And then we have the outdoor zone where you can sit at the table, enjoy the lights when it's like darker out, and enjoy the smell of the grilled food, right? I always love that. I love a good grilled food. It's great. Now, we are going out into our little extra space here. I do put on a few windows just to give some lighting in here. I don't do a lot with this. I have the juice maker. We have the tub that was originally just because of mushroom, but I was like, you know what? It's actually kind of a nice idea to have that in there because it's like if you're stamping on fruits, you're gonna be like, I need to wash my feet. So I have that in there. And then we do have some wine storage racks to the side of it so you can just immediately store them and put them there for safekeeping. Oh, we have another zone here. We have another entertainment zone. I feel like Jasper and Olive need to do a lot more entertaining considering how many spaces I'm giving them for having people over. We're gonna have people over all the dang time. I feel like it. But another area for them to just kind of relax and enjoy the vineyard and like the view and just relax outside. A couple of lovely tables, which will be next to the pool. You know, we'll have a couple lounge chairs and stuff there too once we have more money for the pool. I just feel like I wanted them to have a few $1,000s at least to play with before I just took it all away from them. So we'll make some more money and then we'll add in a pool. Maybe when the kid is older too, it'll be like, oh, let's put in a pool because our child would love to swim around and have fun with that, because we could always get like a kiddie pool, right, when they're a toddler. But I think it'd be kind of fun for them to add on with the family in mind, right? And no, I didn't forget about mushrooms, so I do add in a lovely little dog bed in the corner outside for him, because it's typically nice out here. So it's just like, yeah, you can have like this really nice outdoor bed and you can have your toys there. Otherwise, Mushroom has, you know, pick of the spots in this house. There's that big old couch, there's the bedroom, there's all these nice rugs and carpeting everywhere. So you have the pick, Mushroom. You have a great spot for you to find to sleep and take your naps. I always worry about that. You've got to. I am 100% a dog mom, and I have to always make sure that my dogs have space to relax. And of course, I use my favorite curtains, and I couldn't help myself, but I did try to put something different into the kids' room. Maybe if we find something else that would suit the area, but I mean, these are so pretty. They're kind of sheer, they let in like some light still, and they just drape nicely, so I can't help it, I have to use those. So now I'm just kind of going through and seeing what little finishing touches I want to add in, maybe some plants out front just to kind of lead you into the place. I probably should put another couple gates to get in from like another side instead of just the front area. I wonder if we would have like a back gate or a side gate. That could be kind of like a nice add for this place too. But just some lovely debug flowers. Easy enough, right? I do like to take advantage of debug, so it's kind of fun to go through and see what there is. Like these, I loved these. They had these little planter boxes with vines coming out of them. So perfect to just add to that wall on our extra space back here, and then we just put some little flowers in front of them. I just think that looks really cute and really sweet. And then of course we have to make sure we have enough lighting to go around on the different paths here and there. But I did think it would be nice to give you guys a tour of the place, so we're going to do that once we finish up the build here, and I can show you all the other little details I added in. So here we are at the upgraded vineyard. You can see it still has that beautiful look that we did when they first bought the home and had to, you know, fix it up and think about it. We did fix up all the cracks and crevices, by the way. None of those anymore to deal with. Looks like Mushroom's enjoying the out front so far, so let's go inside. First, we have Jasper in his pajamas in the front room space. Nothing too fancy in here yet, but I figured we could definitely update it. Straight ahead, we have our lovely kitchen. I added some tiling to the wall, and I think that's really nice. And we'll definitely have to add a little bit more detail to this space too for Jasper and all of the stuff that he likes to get done in here. If we go through the other archway on this side, we have our lovely living space with Olive showing it off for us and her baby bump. But it looks really cozy. I added a couple extra pillows to make those colors kind of like tie in together. And it does, I feel like, make it a little extra cozy too to have those pillows together. You go outside this door and we can see our lovely little patio space. Lovely spot to entertain and relax. So now let's go back inside and we'll go to the other side of the house. We can see straight down this hallway. It's actually a longer hallway than I thought it would be, but I added a couple of rugs just to kind of make it feel a little bit homier. A couple details here, and a lovely painting. I really like this painting. It looks really perfect for this home. First door we have bathroom, nice simple bathroom. It's the one that's going to be used for guests and for, you know, the kids and everything like that. We'll get to use this one. And then speaking of kids, we have our lovely nursery. It's so bright and happy in here. Oh, I can't wait to put some extra toys and details too once we get into our gameplay. And then heading down the hall, we do have a burn spot that needs to be cleaned up. I'm not going to worry about it. You don't see it. I don't see it. It's totally fine. We have our marriage certificate. There's the the computer space with, of course, more food that I don't understand, but all my Sims keep trying to make silly white cakes and it's driving me crazy. But we have another big old doorway out, and then over on this side we have the main bedroom area, which is super nice and warm and inviting. And then they have their bathroom, which is just huge. I like this bathroom a lot. I think this is gonna be a nice space for them to use together, and it's gonna be easy for them to just get ready every morning. Then from the bedroom, we can go straight outside to the nice area for them to entertain and relax and enjoy with their family. You can see the vineyard from here, which is beautiful. A lovely little picnic space. The extra garden area over on this side, it is like cloudy and it looks like it's gonna rain. We'll have to see. I think it's just early in the morning and that's why. We'll add to this space too so that she has some more garden and all the special ingredients for Jasper's menus and meals and everything too. And then straight into more of Olive's area, I suppose, because she does a lot more of the juice making, but a nice little juice making space that we can definitely add on to or make into a rentable zone potentially in the future. But that's the house. You can see it from a lovely aerial view here. I think it actually turned out really nice. It kept the same vibe and style of the original and definitely just kind of enhanced it and made it a little bit larger for their family to grow and expand. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you had fun working on the house with me and making it even better for our Career Legacy Challenge. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you aren't already, comment down below your thoughts and excitement for the next episode, and I will see you guys next time. Keep crafting, keep gaming, stay lazy. Bye everybody!